was built to last. With the webs I'm weaving, I could change the past. With all I'm achieving, got my foot on the gas. Never stop competing if you break my glass.
Now, when it comes to late payments, guys, there are certain things we need to know. For a payment to be late, for a late payment to be on your credit, there needs to be 5 things. 5. How many things need to be proven before a late payment can be on your credit? How many things? You can drop it in the chat. 5, right? 5 things. Okay. Now, let's find out what these 5 things are, these 5 requirements are. So late payment, 5 requirements. Right? Late payment, 5 requirements. Can somebody tell me why knowing these requirements are so important? Who can tell me why knowing these 5 requirements are crucial to you being labeled as late and you deleting these late payments or these alleged late payments and laughing after everybody else? Can anybody tell me why knowing these 5 things are so important? And this is where I'll give you an opportunity to off mute and tell me. But when I say go back on mute, guys, please do. I'll just mute everybody, all right? Why is it important for you to know these 5 things? Somebody talk to me.
Because it's the way for you to get them to identify what they have or have not done, and therefore either remove it or get them to then later on get sued.
All right. Very good point, Tinkerbell. Thank you very much. All right. Everybody else, please go back on mute for me. Just check your mic. Make sure you go back on mute. Thank you very much. There are conditions, ladies and gentlemen. They can't just put what they want on your credit. There are conditions. And we're going to take a walk over to the only law that authorizes a payment to be late. Right? The only law that authorizes a payment to be late. Right here. 15 USC 1666B. Now, the law says a creditor may not treat a payment on a credit card account on an open-end consumer credit plan late for any purpose unless, so they cannot treat a payment as late. This is gospel. This is law. Unless they do certain things. Now, when I break these things down for you, some of you are going to say, Daraine, they never send that to me. And I believe you. I honestly do, because you're not supposed to know this information. So let's break it down. They cannot treat a payment as late unless what, Daraine? Unless the creditor adopted reasonable procedures designed. Okay, so let's put this, let's divide this screen in half. That right there, boom. All right, let's divide this screen in half and let's write down these requirements. I bet y'all didn't even know my board could do this, huh? Y'all didn't know. All right. So what are the requirements? Let's talk about requirement number 1. They can't treat the payment late unless the creditor has adopted reasonable procedures designed to ensure each periodic statement. Okay, so they need to send out, they need to have reasonable procedure, right? That sends out the what? Periodic statement. P-E-R-I. Wondering. Periodic. P-E-R-I-O-D. Periodic statements. These periodic statements must go out, right? Well, in addition to the periodic statement, it says something else. The periodic statement including the information required by section 1637B. So the second thing we need to know is that there needs to be what? Information from section 1637B. Right? The third thing we need to know is that is mailed or delivered. So the periodic statement and the information from 1637B must be mailed or delivered. It must be mailed or delivered. And the fourth thing we need to know is that this must be delivered or mailed to the consumer not later than 21 days before the payment due date. So it needs to be mailed or delivered less than 21 days before payment due date. Well, Doreen, that's four things. You said there were five. That's only four. Can anyone tell me where does the fifth condition lie? Does anyone know where the fifth condition is? Who can tell me where the fifth condition lies?
It's also negative information, Doreen.
Ooh, who said that? Who was
This
that?
is Kenny, Doreen.
Oh, right off the rip. Well, yes, you are correct, young man. Wow, that was quick. Y'all are really learning. I feel very proud today, guys. This is a proud moment for me. That was very good, Kenny. Very, very good. So this is where we take a walk, ladies and gentlemen. We are taking a walk over the 15 USC 1681. 1681. There we go. We're going to go over to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and we're going to go to S2. Can somebody tell me why we're in S2? Who can tell me the reason why we're here? Why am I over here?
Hey, Doreen, isn't that the responsibilities of the furnishers of the information?
Right again, Kenny. You're on a roll. Okay. Yes. See, 15 USC 1681 S2 speaks directly to the furnishers of information. Your collection agencies, your creditors, your banks, your credit unions, your LVNV, your Navient, your Apex, your FIA. It speaks to all entities that furnish information. Is everyone tracking that? That's why we are at S2, because it speaks directly to the furnisher. And the furnisher are the ones that what? Furnish the late payment. So to speak to the furnisher, we need to go to language that is applicable to the furnisher of information. Tay, am I making myself clear? You get what I'm saying? All right, bet. So now we're going to scroll down to number 7. And somebody might be asking, Doreen, why are you going to number 7? Well, we're going to find out right now. Number 7. Oh, past number 7. Number 9. Oh, we passed number 7. 8. All right. We should be at number 7 right now. Any day now, Doreen. Any day now. Still going. Ah, here we go. All right. So now we're at number 7. Number 7 has to deal with negative information. So why would negative information be a factor for late payment, Doreen? That's an absolutely amazing question. Isn't a late payment a negative item? Yes or no? Isn't late payment on your credit a negative item? Drop it in the chat so I can see it, guys. My chat. I need to see what you guys are dropping in there.
Yes.
All right. So it also means that if late payment is negative information, it must also follow the law that deals with negative information. That only makes sense, correct? All right, let's find out what the requirements are. If any financial institution, interesting. If any financial institution that extends credit and regularly and in the ordinary course of business furnishes information to a consumer reporting agency. So I'm gonna blow y'all whole minds right now. Guys, is a student loan servicer a financial institution? Did you get any lines of credit from a student loan servicer? Okay. So how is a student loan servicer able to furnish negative information on you when they did not extend any line of credit to you? I wish I had a weakness. Okay. It's not clicking yet. It's not, I don't see the light bulbs over people's head yet. It's not clicking. Okay. Let me step back. You did not get any lines of credit from a student loan furnisher. They never extended any credit to you. You did not write an application and submit it to a student loan servicer. So how can a student loan servicer that is not a financial institution that extended no lines of credit report that your payment was late and they never extended any line of credit to you?
Dwayne, so did they just like pretty much open up a loan without, I wouldn't say without our consent because I did sign certain contracts, but are you saying that they like pretty much opened up a loan?
Well, they did not open up a loan. They're assuming an account that has an application that was not intended for them. You did not apply to Navient. You did not apply to FEA. You did not apply to, what are the other student loan servicers that we have?
FAFSA, they
I'm
got
gonna go more
Sally
in this.
Mae.
Sally Mae.
Write down this now. This thing that's sparking all of these questions in your brain. Write them down for when we do student loans. I need y'all to write these down because when we do student loans, I want these to come up again. But I want you to think: at what point did you ever give them permission to report any information? At what point did you ever apply to a student loan servicer for a loan? What time or whatever time did you ever give them permissible purpose to pull or access your consumer reports? These are the things I want you to think about. Now, as we go back to number 7, guys, double check your mic too to make sure that you're back on mute. So if any financial institution that extends credit and regularly and in the ordinary course of business furnishes information to a consumer reporting agency described in section 1681A(p) of this title, furnishes negative information to such an agency regarding credit extended to the consumer, the financial institution shall provide a notice. The word shall. They shall provide a notice of such furnishing of negative information in writing to the consumer. Let me ask you guys another question. For those of you that have late payments, did you ever receive the negative information notice from Capital One, from Bank of America, from Wells Fargo, from Navient? Have you ever received the negative information notice that is required by law? Did any of you ever get that notice? I'll let y'all think about that one. So there's a time frame, right? There's a time frame for this notice to be sent out, for it to be valid. So the notice required under subparagraph A shall be provided to the consumer prior to or no later than 30 days after furnishing the negative information to a consumer reporting agency. So, ladies and gentlemen, the fifth condition that must be met is number 5, a negative information notice sent prior to or within 30 days of furnishing the negative information. So I will ask you again, ladies and gentlemen, do you really have a late payment on your credit? Or did you let them furnish a payment as late that did not meet the conditions of the law?
No, you
on your
don't.
credit?
No, you don't, because they never send anything. And they never
Late
send.
payment, the late payment only exists because we allow it to exist.
Exactly.
There you go. There are 5 key things, 5 key conditions that must be met for a payment to be late. When did you ever get all 5 pieces? When did you get it? Did Navient send it? Did Capital One send it? Did Wells Fargo send it? Did Credit One send it? Did Navy Federal send it? When did you get these notices? When? So in your late payment deletion script, that you're gonna get, it's a part of your homework. You're gonna be running display tomorrow. So make sure you guys are taking notes. Now, when we talk about a late payment now, let's talk about the dispute, right? So all these requirements, right? All these requirements now, all these requirements are supposed to be sent to the consumer, right? These are supposed to be sent to the range. So this is the range, this is me, right? They're supposed to send this to me, but it never happened. And I got stuck with a 30, a 60, a 90, 120 on my credit, but I never got any piece of that information. In order for any information to be accurate on your consumer report, compliance must be met. If the FCRA requires furnishers of information and consumer reporting agencies to have and send out requirements to the consumer, they have to do it. The reason why over 25 million people have late payments is because no one ever questioned the compliance of the negative item itself. You've been brainwashed to think because I am 30 days and I didn't pay, I'm late. That is a lie. Nothing in the late payment law speaks about you not paying something 30 days past the due date. Nothing. It only says that a payment can be treated as late when these creditors do these things. If they did not comply with the requirements, the report cannot be accurate. The late payment that is furnished is invalid. So when I say, ladies and gentlemen, you're the reason why you have a late payment, That's kind of what I mean.